Ready, I'm going to turn on my camera. Sorry about that.
Okay, FA, thank you so much. Who am I speaking? Is this FA or Helen?
Yes, this is FA. I'm getting dressed for work, so I'll turn on my camera when I'm done.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much, FA. Thank you a lot. Well, for those who just joined in for the first time, some of us just joined in for the first time, I'd like to run the way the program has been going. We started last week, Friday, with being inspired by various speakers. We also talked about sexual harassment. We also talked about building integrity. We also talked about sexual harassment and cyber addiction underage sex. Now we are trying to reach out to our teenage children to teach them the right way to go, because at this point in their life, they are under pressure from one way or the other. And if we don't talk to them, they'll get the advice from someone else. I gave an example of how when I taught in various schools, children open up to me things they would not tell their parents, and they could share with me. And some of them were really scary. I tried to encourage them to open up to their parents, but they just feel their parents will never believe them. So we are trying to teach them to speak up. A lot of our children have been harassed in schools and wherever they go, in their home. In their homes. I've had an issue where a child is being sexually harassed or abused by her uncle who lives in the same house with her. So these children are scared, but let's reassure them that you don't have to be scared. It's not as bad as they think, you know. So this boot camp is actually to encourage our children to believe in themselves, because they've been pushed by too many pressures from here or there. They have lost their self-esteem totally. So we have to start teaching them to believe in themselves, not to be scared, not to open up. You know, we got some of them who opened up to us last weekend about pressure they were going through. So if you don't know the pressure your children are going through, how can we help them? We all passed through, for those of us who are parents here, we all passed through that teenage period, and we had pressure one way or the other. But luckily for us, we came out of it. We did. I had a lot of bad experiences, but I'm glad that today I came out well. It wasn't that the good part of it was because the foundation I had was solid enough to keep me out there, to always know what to do. Yes, there were some mistakes I made. I'm not saying I didn't make mistakes, you know. I made a lot of mistakes, but eventually I got it right. Now, most of our speaker is here. Let me admit her into. Okay, welcome, Auntie Adesuwa. Thank you for joining us. And I was trying to introduce the program that's been going on during the boot camp to everyone who is present. So not to waste much time, they've been waiting. I'll hand over to Auntie Adesuwa Onyenokwe. Thank you for coming.
Hello guys, I put on my video now. Hello everyone, I can see Ifo, I can see Efe, I can see Mamo Saero, I can see Urwe Udoro, Judy Erusiafe, Helen Reggie, and Saul Aleto. Who else is in the house? Everybody just say hello. Can everybody just say hello in the chat room so that I can say hello there, everyone? Hello. Hello from Seoul. If I'm correct.
Can we please turn on our cameras, please?
And it'd be nice to have your cameras on. And again, while you have your cameras on, would you please just mute yourselves so that we don't get the noise that's coming from outside? I can only see a hello from Seoul. Others are not happy to see me. Hey, trouble, I should just leave here. If nobody wants to see me, I will just go. This is Urwe. Urwe, hello. Who else? People should. Plus daddies and children. Me, I still have teenager. I have one 19-year-old.
Hello, everyone. This
Hi,
is
Helen. Hi, Helen. Ifo, hello. Ikbomusa, hello. And somebody's camera is just going up and down there. Where are the young ones? And bye. Oh my goodness, these kids are all kinds of stuff. So Amagada, that's Amagada. I don't know if my sound is okay. Just tell me that the sound is okay. Just chat with me. The sound is fine. We can hear you clearly. Otherwise, I may have to change the source of my internet just to be sure that this is fine. And even if you do lose me for a few seconds, this is Nigeria. I have prepared myself with 3 different networks. So if one shuts down, in less than 2 minutes, I'll sign on to the other. It's nice to see you too, Ifo. It's nice to see you. This is the Etiquette Zoom Bootcamp 2020 for teen boys and girls. I can't see the teen boys in the house. Where are the teen girls and the teen boys in the house? You don't want to show me. Are they not back from school yet? Or are we going to play this video for them when they come back? Pat, what's happening?
Some of them joined in just before you came on, and I'm sure they will be back in the next 5 minutes. I was we have more of the parents here logged on, so well, you can go on. The parents are here to listen to you. We have one teenager here. She's been consistent from day one.
So we should give her a prize and give her an apple. Has she said hello to me? I've not seen any hello. Oh, that's it.
Very shy.
Me, I'm shy too. I will soon shut my video. Then all of us will be looking at video. I'm shy too. We all are shy. It's just that condition makes some of us speak. Okay, that's it. Hello, dear. How you doing? Chat in the room if you don't want to talk. And it's nice for us.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. And she's made sure that it's only her glasses that we can see.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'd like to say it's nice to see that even daddies and mummies are here. And I believe that the question is, we all talk and share experiences that we can work with. First off, I'd say that the boot camp is a great idea. I wonder what it would have been like to get everybody together in one space. I know for a fact that today, the young ones would probably like to see and feel and touch their friends because COVID and the pandemic has reduced all of us to what a friend of mine describes as people in the Noah's Ark. If people know the story of Noah, people went into a boat for, is it 40 years? And it rained, is it 40 days? And this one is that this rain has gone on for more than 6 months. Fortunately, we are back in school. And maybe we're beginning to feel, but at a distance, because that's what the new world is telling us. I have a teenager who has not been able to go back to school, was going to school virtually, and is not too happy about it at all. But I mean, I suppose that it's in the best interest of everybody because she schools in the UK, and right now the numbers are going high about the pandemic. She schools in the north, and her father made the final decision yesterday, and the girl has been inconsolable. But that's our world today. Our world is changing, and we are having to adapt to what we see, even for parents too. But since I have more of parents in the house now, I'm supposed to speak around the area of inspiration. And what I actually wanted to do was to ask what people felt inspiration meant and who inspires them. So since I have only one teenager, I would like to start from there because that's how we'll understand. Okay, maybe I define what inspiration is first. You know, inspiration, to inspire is to make someone, let me just read what the definition is, right? That is what Wikipedia says it is, you know. If you, or the dictionary, the Cambridge Dictionary is what describes like this. To inspire is to make someone feel that they want to do something and can do it, you know. Confident people inspire other people because when you see somebody able to do what they want to do, others look at them and say, oh my gosh, I wish I could do that. You know, some people, by their actions, they inspire loyalty in other people. The people would do anything for them because what they do inspires them to want to act on certain emotions or whatever. What inspiration does is it makes you do something new. And that is a verb, it's an active word. You do something. Either you become like what inspires you, or you'll be able to do better and more than what inspires you. Now, what are the things that inspire us typically? I would share, inspire is a verb, right? And what it does is it animates, it's active. It's not still, sometimes nature can inspire an artist to want to put something together, and they move and they do it. Nature also, it's like, so when some people say when they are by the seaside, they like the feeling, they can think better because they are calmer and they are inspired. They act whatever thoughts that comes to their mind at those points in time. It impels you, it moves you, it influences you. Something external to you influences you and moves you to be a particular way. Now, if you look over time, I'll just give an example of the kinds of things that have inspired me over time. And in some ways, people inspire us and we inspire others, no matter how little it is, or how little you think you are, or how little you think you know. There's at least one person out there who's inspired by your ability. I remember meeting a young man when I was maybe after 15 years in the industry. As a television reporter, I met a young man who didn't have two arms. He had one that was half, and the other one was just up here. A Nigerian young man. He was a student at the University of Lagos at that time, and he was studying geography and regional planning. I noticed the young man because of his laughter. He would laugh, ha ha, and I turned around. And very full of life, not just his arms, he was somebody with a disability. Which was, he was also kind of tilted, the kind of man you would otherwise think would want to hide himself. But when I met that young man, I realized that disability is really a matter of how you respond to it and a matter of how you were raised. This young man, I featured him in my magazine, and he inspired me to start a show which I gave him to anchor, which we called vertical, challenges, just to focus on people with challenges and tell their stories of how they survived. He had been raised by parents who had 2 sons before him. And these people didn't treat him like he was with a disability. If he was crying and he wanted to get something from the cupboard, for example, he told me his parents said, go and get it yourself. And he found a way around it. He would pull a chair, struggle, but he got it. Eventually, he was able to live life like that. So even if people laughed at him or people looked at him odd, he was doing those things. And his story inspired me to begin to tell stories like that. And today he's relocated to the UK because he was born in the United Kingdom and he works from there. He lives and works there. But that person inspired me to do something about sharing information about people with disability. I'll give another example of someone who truly inspires me. He's a young man, well, not so young anymore. His name is Cobham. He's a musician. Maybe some of these young people will recognize him. I think over the weekend, or over the Independence weekend, there was this music going viral because he produced something for Coca-Cola about looking for the power within. The Nigerian national anthem was rendered by him and a couple of other musicians. He was born blind. Again, his parents didn't treat him like anybody different. He was forced to behave normally, even though he went to school for the blind. He ended up being, on the course to becoming a lawyer. And it was in his final year when this young man decided that he wanted to pursue his musical career, because the first thing he learned as a child, he tells me, was learning to beat the drums. He would take all his mother's pots and pans and just be beating the drums because it gave him joy. So he was used to playing music. So that was what he heard in his head. He had never seen. So a guy like that has gone ahead to inspire a lot of people to be able to overcome the differences or difficulties that life might bring his way. Again, this young man, his first son came out with the same disability that he had. Today, his wife, who's had to deal with having a husband and a son who are both, for no reason, no medical reason, they've tried everything, are blind, right? But that incident inspired her to go to School of Divinity because the strength she got was from her Christian background. Today, she's helping other people. Now, why am I going this route? That even in the greatest of adversity, there's always something to inspire other people, right? Now, if I take it, I personally, I realized with the example of Mother Teresa, a saint of the Catholic Church. In fact, two saints of the Catholic Church inspire me. One of them is Mother Teresa. She is the advocate of nothing is too small to give to someone else. She would say, if it's only a smile you can give it to someone else. And that's something. So, I mean, I always used to feel like, oh, I must have money before I can contribute my quota to the world. But then I know how many people I've been able to help just by smiling at them, just by extending a smile. But I was inspired by one woman who lived that. The same thing with a saint called Saint Josemaria. This is a priest in, well, it's a work that's called Opus Dei. This man teaches people that everybody can be a saint. And he lived that kind of life. He lived that kind of life. And when he passed on, the church declared him a saint, not by force, because he realized that ordinary people can be saints. So you see, that inspires that thought that everything that I do could lead me to heaven as a Christian. Makes me want to do my work to the best. It inspires me when I'm down, when it looks like I'm not doing anything, I'm not making an achievement. It moves me. It inspires me. I'm inspired. For example, I give you music that truly inspires me for deep patriotism. Nigerian anthem, yes, if I listen to the words and live it, Arise, O Compatriots, Nigeria's Call Obey, it's one of them. But there's a song that was played by a young man called Tida Kolo. He talks about a great nation. When you listen to the words, you're inspired to feel a deep sense of love for your country. Now, all kinds of people inspire you. Even for the young ones, I think I have my 19-year-old is totally besotted with, they call her B, Queen B. I used to say Queen B. She corrected me and says Queen B, Beyonce. She inspires me because that young woman has shown that hard work yields results. I watched her documentary and the effort she puts into her work shows me that, yes, those who are following her are not wrong. At least I admire her work ethic, and it inspires me that if you put your best in your work, you will succeed. I don't know what it inspires in other people. It may inspire in somebody else the desire to dress a particular way or the desire to walk a particular way, right? So inspiration is what is the action that we take based on the admiration we have for something or someone else. It moves us. And I would say that if we knew what inspiration did mean, for us as parents, we would aim to inspire our children by our actions, because inspiration is one of the most powerful non-verbal communication. You don't have to say anything. It's just by watching someone else and you want to move and be and do because of that person. It could be, for example, the person's words inspire you to want to be better. When you motivate them, when you push people with words that inspire, not words that castigate or abuse, words that can bring out and impel the kind of action we want to see in our children or in our friends, for example, or in ourselves. People can self-motivate as well if they learn from the right sources. Now, attending a camp like this gives you the opportunity to be taught certain things, to meet certain people. Fine, the camp is not physical. It makes it easier for people to join at any point in time, but the opportunity it brings is immeasurable. And I would say that people shouldn't go through this just because. Go through it because you're finding in something or in someone something that can inspire. Even the coordinator, the person who put this together, is an inspiration, because she could have stopped this because she didn't have hundreds of people, because she didn't have, if you're thinking, oh, well, I'm only going to reach 10 people. I often say that sometimes one person is all you need to reach. Again, it goes back to inspiration. It goes back to inspiration. And inspiration is, because inspiration is not forced, right? It put us in a situation where we have to think before we actually identify what inspires us. What is it? What do I want to be? What is the do that I want written against my name? So what am I going to seek to inspire me to do that? And the do, what value does it bring to society? What does it bring? First, to me as a person, the value of my inspiration to smile is that at least it teaches me to be cheerful all the time. But the value to society is that society will get somebody who's always in a good mood, somebody who, against all odds, will give of the little that she has to help another person be better. You know, so you read about all kinds of things. Where do you find that about people? Now, online, on TV, on the streets, in your home. Be selective of who inspires you. Be conscious of what they inspire you to do. What they inspire you to do, is it positive? Does it build you? Does it make you better? Is it negative? Does it destroy you? Does it stop you in track of what you want to achieve? So it goes down to the function of, what do I want to be? Who do I want to be to myself, to others, and to God? Because God has created every single person with a particular skill or knowledge that is meant for the world. Only if you realize what that skill is, what can inspire you to find that skill that God has put into you. If you think, I am lying, imagine science says that no two fingerprints are the same. So even if someone like Ikpomusa who says she's shy, even there's a space, there's something that the shy person can bring to the world. All the shy person needs to do, maybe it's your shyness that is going to bless the world. So we use such words as negative words. We should always turn things around, no matter how terrible. Somebody who is, for example, facing adversity and thinks, oh, why has this happened to me? Because the only thing that's constant in life is change. You will change. Instead of wallowing in pity, oh, why am I here? The fact that you can change gives you the encouragement to find out what you can do to change that adversity period to a better time, or you live with it. Then people see you smiling and like, oh, how can she stay so positive? How can he stay so positive? I want to learn. And you inspire somebody to be able to live a better life. If nothing else, your heart problem, you will not develop heart problem, no stress, no high blood pressure, because in the situation you are, you're happy. So even in adversity, even in pain, we can inspire. We can inspire in all forms. So if us all realize that our thoughts could become actions that could inspire others, we will be careful. We'll be deliberate, not careful, deliberate. You know, we want to be the better person that we are so others can be better. And if we know that people can easily inspire you to do something, check out what is it about them that inspires me, and what does that inspiration make me do? And the thing that it makes me do, is it good for me? Okay, if it's good for you, is it good for others? Others would be, first of all, I would say anybody who's a teenager, the primary thing is, would my parents approve? What is important to them? Because they're the ones forming you. Nobody can love you more than your parents, no matter how much they shout at you, no matter how much you disagree. They're looking after you. They may not have all the knowledge because we don't understand how the young ones are these days. You will make your mistakes, but our desire for you, I would assume for all parents, is that they be the best that they can be. And sometimes when we push in the direction, okay, study this, do this, don't go there, it's because we think it's what's best for you. If you think otherwise, you will have to prove it to us. And for as long as we are the ones taking care of you, at least do what we want. Let us inspire you to do what we want. And you get to a point where you will show us that you can be the best that you can be. No need to talk. If the father is telling you, oh, go and do this, go, and you are sure that this is what you want to do, you've got to make your father or your mother understand that this is what you want to do. Otherwise, you're going to, you have to be able to convince them and inspire them to make you do what you want to do. So we should be deliberate about the things that we allow inspire us. Because I say, inspire is an action. It's a verb, but action doesn't happen by accident. It's just like maybe somebody kicks you and you fall. The next time, you're not going to put yourself in the position for that person to kick again. It's not going to happen to you. Even if there's accidental inspiration, you can check it, right? You can check it. So I wonder what inspires young people today. I would say they spend most of their time in the digital space. And yet, you know, in that space is tons and tons and tons of information. But the information you seek is what you will get. What kind of information are the young ones seeking online? What kind of information are they viewing or listening to online? Are those information that will inspire? Because there's negative inspiration and positive inspiration. Inspiration is movement, action, impelling to do something, arouse, animate. There's positive, there's negative. Take, for example, drugs. It motivates, it moves, it makes them be a particular way. Take, for example, there's a young man now, I think, what's it called now? If I was looking for him to interview him, people would say I'm crazy. Malians, yeah. He's inspiring a lot of young people. But you see, what movement he's calling for is a movement of individualism, that people worry and struggle to get action, to think for themselves. But the example is given where they wear sagging trousers or something like that, and then the girls do not wear underwear, is a sign of breaking away, freedom, breaking away from the norm. Now, is it right to call for people to think outside the box? Yes. But is it going about it the right way? I don't think so. So a situation like that, I can say, okay, this guy inspires me to want to stand up for what is right. But clearly, what is right doesn't mean going around without underwear. That is not right. That identity that they've created to push that message is certainly antisocial and not normal. So I'm not going to copy that. But that spirit of fighting for what you believe in, I could use that. You know what I mean? So I decided to use examples to draw home to us and even to parents. So it's always be worried about what the kids are watching or listening to. Let's find out what is it about those things that is moving them to action. Because even in the worst of what looks terrible to us, we will find something positive in it. Take that thing and throw the rest away. Instead of saying, don't watch it, don't listen, don't do that. Color it. What is the inspiration they are getting from that? That will help you know, how am I going to deal with the situation? So I hope that with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince and not confuse you that inspiration is a positive, can be positive, if we know what inspiration truly means. And we should be more deliberate about the things we choose to expose ourselves to and the kind of inspiration we get out of whatever it is that we experience, whether it's in our action, or in our thoughts, or in our environment. So having said that, it would be nice if people to say in the chat room, what inspires you? Nature, people, the environment, your country, because your country can inspire you to want to give up the best. You know, what is that inspires you? So even if I have more spirits there, can you people share with me what really inspires you? I'm waiting up. I will start with Pat. What inspires you?
I'll say something to you today. Growing up, when I used to watch you back then, when you were in NTA, when I watch any of your programs, I go behind, I start mimicking you, trying to be like you. I grew up loving you, wanting to be like you. And I was so privileged earlier this year when we were in the same meeting and I was a speaker like you. I was feeling on top of the world that I'm speaking like Adesuwa, you know. So since then, I just didn't want to stop. That was why I reached out to you to be a speaker in this boot camp. You've been one of my inspirations.
Let's do it this way. So what was it that inspired you? What was it
that inspired you? Your charisma and wanting to make an impact, wanting to know more. You talked about when you see someone, they inspire you to want to know more about the person. You know, you have this drive to go deep into research and use it to reach out to people. You're not someone who just sees something and you ignore it. You want to go further. You want to know more. You don't read. You don't look at what has been written. You want to write your own story.
So
That's
how
one
has
thing
that
about you.
influenced you? So that the inspiration will be, what has it done to you? What has it brought out of you? What have you used it?
Well, it has
Efe,
brought
if
out
you don't mind muting yourself, Effie, just mute, press mute. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, it
Pat.
has made me more wanting to know more about the situation, not just assuming. It has pushed me to do more research before I come out to give an analysis of anything in life. So you've pushed me to want to go to the extra mile, not just believing in what I've been told or what I've read. I want to know something new and write my own story. So that's one thing you've done for me.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So you see, anybody can inspire you. And today, I'm sure you have gone ahead to inspire other people without even realizing it. Is there anybody else that wants to share with us in the house? Thank you, Pat.
Good evening.
Hi, Effie.
I'm good. And yeah, that's why it's good to come one-on-one with you.
I like this by force. So even in
Don't mind me. I'm actually going to work. It's good to have you on the same. It's good to be on the same platform with you. I remember when I just got married in Lagos, and you had this program for talking fingers.
Sign language.
Sign language, yes. And whenever you come on, there's this smile. I think, believe it or not, I'm not saying this now because you're here. I actually started smiling all the time because you had this captivating smile in you. You would always come on, and the way you smile and the way you sign. And I had the opportunity to leave the shores of Nigeria. And when I got here, I had to go to the school for sign language.
Oh.
Yeah, I said I was going to do it because your presentation, the way you actually presented the program, actually got me thinking. And I was like, oh, no, I love this. I want to do this.
Inspired.
But as you would know, yeah, we all don't have the brains for everything. I didn't make good grades. I didn't pass it very well. I didn't know it very well. But I went ahead in doing paramedics and still in the caring line. So from what you just said, it's actually true. We get inspired. It's not by force. It's not a by force thing. It's you have to really be drawn towards it. You really have to like what you see and accept it. And knowing your strengths and your weakness. If you ask me, if I want to add to what you've just said, you've said very well. I think parents, we first as parents, we should be the mirror our children see. It's not do what I say and not what I do. You're better acting right in front of your children and they will follow suit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All the best at the work. So remember to send me part of the salary.
I will. And please, can I use this opportunity to say, is it possible to reach out to you? Because I'm doing a program and I said to fans, I said, Auntie Adesuwa is coming on. Oh my God. I want to reach out to her one-on-one. I would know you. You're a big sister. I know. I would know some of your family. Can I reach out to you?
Pat should give you my details. And just send me.
Thanks.
Not a problem.
Thank you very much. And thanks for coming on.
Not a problem.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks.
Ifo Efeturi says 3 things that inspire me: good music, excellence, and love. So it means that any human being that you see that has those qualities, you know, but what do they inspire you to do? Do they inspire you to be more creative? Do they inspire you to want to give of your best to others? You know, what do they move you to do, Ifo? And then Judy says, Pat and how she keeps going on inspires me. You see, Pat, Judy says you inspire her. And then Saul Aleto says, creativity inspires me. Does it make you work harder? Does it make you, so when we use the word inspire, we must think of the action that it brings. What does it impel you to do? You know, because it's a different word from admire. Admire is passive. You like that person. But when the person inspires you, it moves you, it impels you to do something. So let's not mistake the word admire with inspire. You know, especially with, you can admire a piece of art and it does nothing to you, but you can admire it and it inspires the feeling of peace, that peace that you can share with other people, or it moves you to want to go and draw your own, or it moves you to want to maybe sing, you know? So whatever, let's keep those things in our head. Now, I would like, is it Mamos are still in the house? You don't, even if you don't want to show your face, just type in here for me. What are the things that inspire you? I hope Ikomusa's mother or father is not here, so she will not want to. Hey, what inspires you currently? Tell me, does Beyonce inspire you? Bay? Are you a Bay? What do they call them? What do they call the followers of Beyonce? The Bay tribe or something like that. The Bay, I don't know. The B, sorry. What do they call them? Or is it,
I don't know.
or is it, what's your other musician's name? Or is it who inspires you? Or is it, I mean, I was reading the other day about a young girl, a 10-year-old Nigerian, who has been given the job to code, I mean, to do the coding for a school in the UK. I'm like, goodness, that's quite inspiring. That's genius, or is it hard work? I don't know. But it's inspiring for me. So if most I'm listening.
Music inspires me.
Music, what kind of music? Rap music or rhythm and blues or Fuji or Akbala or rock? Or
No,
what kind of music does the Davido play? What kind of music is that? Or Afro pop?
no, like classical.
Classical. So what does it inspire you to do?
It inspires me to want to like write my own shit music.
Wow. So you want to write sheet music. So that's beautiful. You see there? Maybe we have another Beethoven right here. So you aspire to be a Beethoven, or which one do you like? Or Handel? Or which of the classical musicians do you enjoy?
Yeah, it's Handel.
Handel. So that means you like the Messiah, Handel's Messiah, one of the most popular of the classical music. True or false? Who did the Hallelujah? Isn't it Handel? Hallelujah. Anyway, so for the fact, and I would like a daddy, unless one of this, a daddy, a man, to share what inspires them. I'm just going to look around. Well, Leto has said, creativity inspires me. You have to show me, because this is Mr. Leto. You have to, what is it about creativity that inspires you? Maybe you can unmute and speak. That'll make it a bit.
How are you doing, Adesuwa?
I'm where?
I think it's yeah, you're right. It's what we draw from what inspires us that really counts. When I said creativity inspires me, it inspires me to get more creative and obviously align with people who are creative. You kind of think of where they are coming from when they do stuff creative, like an artist. Like the young lady now who's thinking about music, you see, that's already inspiring because I got to think about the thought process she's going to go through to want to make things perfect. So coming from that alone, it's already empowering and inspiring for her to give that information. So that kind of stuff, that's what keeps me going. I get inspired by people who tune in to their creativity and unleash it. So for teenagers, that's exceptionally wonderful. So Iro, I think that's her name. That's it's amazing stuff. Yeah, so that's the kind of thing that inspires me. It makes me get more creative and want to unleash more of that creativity. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. So I would say if we have questions, we can just gist generally for the next 5 to 10 minutes. Maybe questions that relate to how we deal with, selecting what inspires us, or how we act on the things that we admire, or whatever, just general questions. If we have any questions that we can all thrash out, I'm available for the next 10 minutes. Pat?
Auntie Adesuwa, like I said, Ikomosa has been very consistent from when we started. And I would really like her to meet you personally. Because after we talked about pressure on teenagers last weekend, and Ikomosa actually opened up on the particular pressure she's having to go through. And I had to speak to her mom about it. So I think Ikomosa needs someone to inspire her more, someone to tell her how special she is. So I would like to, since she has been consistent, I would like her to meet with you, and I would like to sponsor a outing for both of you.
In this
Lunch,
COVID
dinner,
time,
or something.
You know what we're gonna do? Because I'm also a life coach. What I'll do is she can have the session with me, 1 hour.
Oh, thank
because
you so
people
much.
find it easier to have a conversation. We don't have to be like, I can link her up to a platform that we can chat, and then she can feel more comfortable and just say whatever she wants to say, and we can be private. When she sees me, she might be shy. So we can work that out. We can work that out this weekend. I give her 1 hour. We just sit down and have that. Because when people say they don't know what to do, the truth is they know what to do. They know what they feel, but they just need someone to point them in that direction, which is what, as parents, one of the mistakes we make is telling children what to do. We show them what to do is a better way. And there are different stages. By the time the children don't know what to do, before they are teenagers, they don't know anything really. You have to show them. By the time they become teenagers, others will be showing them plus you. So you are both struggling. Their peers, yourself, the environment, you are struggling to show the child what to do. Everybody's struggling. What I always used to tell my kids is, at this stage, no matter what you think you know, you cannot know as much as I do. So just err on the side of caution that I know better. Even if I'm wrong, which could be, because I don't have full knowledge of a particular situation, but I know better because I have lived longer than you. So I'm less likely, you're less likely to fail if you follow my own direction, less likely. Even if your own may carry you to whatever, try my own. Like I say, nothing spoiled till you at least, let me just at least manage and give you what I believe is the best, first degree or second degree, just do it. After that, nothing spoiled, you're young. You can do whatever you want. We can't make them do stuff. We got to work with them to achieve, but they've got to trust us enough to know that, yes. But the challenge we have is we are fighting with peers, and we are fighting with an environment, and peers that are so merciless these days because the world is no longer, when we were young, the world was maybe our primary school or our secondary school or Benin City. Your generation, maybe again, Nigeria. This generation, their world is Africa. The world is their world. So you as a parent are sitting down here fighting with the whole world to raise your child. It's a tall order. But the only constant thing through all these generations is that parents have highest responsibility for their kids. And they need to make sure that the kids understand that. And I don't think there's no way a parent can hate the child. A parent will hate what the child does. But the parent, because the parent has the idea of what they want the child to be, the parent can never hate the child. They may be disappointed. They may be anything, but hate, never. Love, for sure. But they may not be loving the way the child wants, but they are loving that child. And to love your child is not to spoil your child. It's just to appreciate that you've brought another human being into this world, even when things are tough. I mean, when a parent who is, I read recently about a young lady in the north who killed her 2 children. She didn't kill, and she went to report herself. She was sick, clearly. She was clearly sick. She didn't kill them because she didn't love them. They were well taken care of, nice looking kids, but she just lost it at some point in time. So really, Ikbamosa will get 1 hour. I will tell you how we're going to manage that. Okay. And this weekend, Saturday or Sunday, 1 hour before she goes back to school on Monday. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Ikbamosa, what do you have to say? Can you turn on your camera, please? So you see how special you are now. Let's see you smile.
She knows she's special.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I want you to believe in yourself, that you're such a unique child and you're beautiful just the way you are, okay? So always believe in yourself. No matter what anybody says to you doesn't define you. It's what you accept yourself, okay? So I want you to always accept that you're beautiful, you're special, you're unique. You do your things in a different way, but it doesn't really matter. That is who you are. You know, that is who you are, okay?
Okay.
So
Just quickly to read what Ifo said about the 3 things that inspire.
okay.
Is Ifo male or female? I'm not sure. Good
He's
music,
male.
excellence,
He's
and
male.
love.
Ifo
Okay.
is male.
Ifo says good music, excellence, and love inspire me to be resourceful and give my best. We're just filled with hope. I think that's the word. It gives you hope. When you hear the music, it lifts you up, you know. And for some people, music inspires them to dance and forget their issues. Me, most of the time, you know. Judy says beehive. I'm not sure what that means. Beehive. Judy, do beehives inspire you? Beehives produce honey. So beehive has something positive about it. I don't know if Judy is still there.
Okay, you were talking about Beyonce's fan, what they're called.
See, Judy.
Yes, so that's why I said beehive.
Judy, you know beehive. It's Tracy now. To show you how behind I am, they call her bee. They call them beehive. I understand why Komosa doesn't know beehive. She's on a different level, intellectual level, not like very high. Okay, they're beehive. So, in the absence of any other question, can I be permitted to step aside for now? I've done 45 minutes.
We'd like to say we appreciate you coming to speak here and really gain a lot, even as parents, and how to be inspirations to our little ones and the whole community at large. Thank you, Adesuwa.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you, everybody.
Just before Auntie Adesuwa leaves, Helen, do you have a question or something to say to Auntie Adesuwa? Helen Omarike, please. Quickly.
Okay.
Not really. I just want to say thank you to her.
All right.
Thank
Ore
you.
Uduro, do you have anything to say, please?
Her
Quickly.
name is Ore. Ore is this, white chalk. Is Ore there? Okay, hi. Some other people have joined. I see Osamuyime. I see.
I see Osaze.
Osaze. Okay. Okay, Osaze, who's just joining? Connecting to audio. Okay, that's Osaze. Connecting to audio.
Ore.
Is Ore saying something?
She's being quiet. No.
Okay. So
I hope you heard my message. Thank you, Auntie Adesuwa. Yeah, my name is Adesuwa Onyenokwe.
Okay.
Thank you, Auntie. I appreciate
I'm you just quickly knocked out your camera, but it's okay. I accept. Okay,
this is me.
I can see that you have 4 eyes like me. Thank you, Helen.
Thank you.
So Osamuyime, do you want to say anything? She has to go off now. Quickly,
what
please.
I must say though very quickly is that all the parents who have come here, please take the message back to your children. It's a promise today. Sit them down, maybe over dinner or something, and talk to them about inspiration. Find out what inspires them, what could inspire them, and you tell them what inspires you too. I always find all this, and it doesn't even have to be formal. In your conversations with your kids, once in a while, throw it in. They will say, no, I don't know. You share your own, and they will share theirs with time. Don't be too scared if they share you things that shouldn't really be inspiring them. Let them explain why those things inspire them, and tell them why you think maybe it shouldn't inspire them. Because the most important thing is it positive? If it is, go ahead. So when we say Osamuyime should say something, or Ure, who was supposed to say something before we go?
Yeah, hi. Pat, can I say something?
Yeah, you can, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't put on my camera. I'm actually at work and I'm in a clinical environment. Thank you, Adesuwa, for your time. I've not really met you personally. I think I've heard the name. I actually left Nigeria like 30 years ago. So obviously,
Wow.
I have heard that name at some point or forgotten. Yes, given my background, actually a mental health practitioner, and I do see exactly what you were trying to say around inspiration. I'm just going to be brief. My personal experience around inspiration is drawn from my parents, which I feel they are the best role model. So I think having a role model in your life will actually shape, the way you become in the future, and it does give inspiration. Like we have Martin Luther King in America back in the days, during the time of the struggle. He's got one of the most famous quotes ever. So he's one of my inspirations. So I think people, environment, and things could actually be inspiration. So I've always promoted things like having a role model, and which I think if we have many of you in our society, it could actually change the country. Nigeria is a great country, and we're looking forward at some point to come back. So my closing note is just to say thank you so much for attending, and hope you attend more.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You better come back home, otherwise we'll remove your name from our. Come and suffer with us, Oz. No, but you see, the point he raised about role modeling is very key, which is the same thing, really. Role modeling is the person inspires you to model your life like them, which is a little different from the other things where it can inspire you to do something. But a role model inspires you. You want to live like that person, which is why everybody's dream is that you become the model for your kids, but not be by force. The kids can decide that they want to be like somebody else. But the most important thing is who or how positive is their role model, right? And you find that there are different role models for different things. For example, a child might take the mother as a role model for an emancipated woman, or might take the mother as a role model but she doesn't like the fact that her mother shouts. That can't be her role. She doesn't want to be like that. You know what I mean? Or a young man might take a father as a role model of a responsible person, or a role model as a provider, but not a role model as a loving father, because his father doesn't spend time like he would like to spend with his own family. You know what I mean? So they pick different things that they model themselves after. And Martin Luther King, that Oz mentioned, with his popular I Have a Dream, has been able to inspire a whole generation of people to fight for their rights by keeping their vision in focus. And he's still inspiring generations after with that powerful speech, I Have a Dream. But he was able to articulate exactly what it meant by his dream, and he walked the talk. Everything he said, he did. That's the best role modeling. Okay. Pat, I don't try you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Adesuwa. I really appreciate it for taking this time to join us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. And just like go over, even though we say we have 12, I say there's Pat, there's Helen, there's Orui, there's Oz, there's Ifo, there's Ikbomusa, there's iPhone, there's Judy, there's Osamuime, there's Saul, and there's Osaze. Thank you, everybody. And I appreciate that people have called in from all over the world. But remember, this is more for your children than for yourselves. They will grow. The teenage years are difficult, but they will grow and they will pass that stage. Just like you grew and you passed that stage with your parents, they will grow. So please persevere and be the best role model you can to them, and inspire in them the desire to be better, which is the most critical for themselves, for your family, and for the nation. Thank you, everybody. So permission to fall out now.
Permission granted.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Auntie Adesuwa.
Right. Bye.
Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Thank you for this time. I like to say this just to add to what Auntie Adesuwa just said. We all grew up and we all knew what we did when growing up, what we put our parents through. So it's now our turn to inspire our own kids. So I appeal that, like she just said, be patient with them. And even when you think something is going wrong, don't push them too hard. Take it easy and try and motivate them positively. And if you feel they are not reaching out to you more, get someone they can easily talk to. That is why I wanted to encourage Bosa to spend more time with Auntie Adesuwa, because talking to her and chatting with her mom, I see there's a gap in communication. So we need to allow these children open up more to people they feel comfortable with, because probably we are too hard on them, and they feel if I say this, I don't say this, you know, they just get so scared of how you will feel. They feel you might be disappointed. We can never be disappointed in our kids because we did a lot of things that if you can't even say it out here, what we all did growing up. We did a lot of naughty things. So it's now our turn to, those experiences we have, open up to these kids, tell them the truth about life. Don't pretend to them, don't sugarcoat it at all to say it was like this growing up. Let's tell them how it was for us, and let's see how we can help them grow better and help them open up to us more. So thank you guys for joining in. I will appreciate if we have anything to add before we all call it a day.
I think, Pat, mine, obviously, because I work with a lot of teenagers as well. And what you just highlighted is key to the teenagers listening. The parents obviously know more. They know more, not necessarily better, but they do know more than you have experienced. So that patience is required to understand the parents as well. Being teenagers, it could be hard. You know, it's hard. The teenage years are the hardest years. And the ones I work with 15, 16, and 17-year-old kids, and it's generic what the problems are. You know, it's difficult. There's so many things happening within your body, within your mind, and so many things confusing. But like Auntie Adesuwa said earlier on, patience is required both ways. They are your parents for a reason. We are parents for a reason, and it's a blessing to have you guys as kids. So it's a case of, hey, how do we continue that relationship? It's just based on respect. You know, so if you guys can be patient, let the parents do what they need to do. In a couple of years, you will all be adults, and you'll be the one correcting us at that time. So yeah, thank you for your time. Bye.
Thank you so much, so much. I must say this about my mom. Honestly, growing up, I never thought I would go into education or into etiquette. She's always been, I think she was my role model. She loves doing things the right way, making people feel important, helping people realize their dreams, push them to where their focus will be. And I always I was the stubborn one, you know, but somehow when she passed on, like she built a solid foundation in me that now everything I do, I just remember her talking to me all the time, you know. So that is what we should be for our kids. When you are not there, they just hear that thing in their head, you know, speaking to them, you know. So they should stand out wherever they go. And everyone who has joined in here today, you have a different way you have inspired me, and that is why you took this time to come on to join me, to support me for this boot camp. And I want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much. Efe, God bless you. Thank you so much. Usade, thank you. I love you so much. And I'm not giving up on you. This is not, after this boot camp, I'm going to follow you up with Iponsa. Is that okay?
Thank you, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
Yeah, Ori, thank you so much for joining in. Ifo, thank you. Judy, Osamu, Ime, you didn't say a word. Thank you, Uze, you are the best. Thank you so much, everyone. So have a lovely day.
I see my cousin in the house, Solomon, but yeah, Uze, thanks for coming up.
It's a community, open. The ESA community. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. God bless you all, and have a lovely weekend.
Thanks.
All right. Bye.
I know, babe.